Hello, this is Mrs. Hyman. Solve each equation. State the number and type of roots. 9x minus 4 equals 0. Well, this is a linear equation, so we should expect to get one solution. So let's solve it and see what we get. 9x minus 4 equals 0, so we're going to add 4 to both sides of the equation. That gives us 9x is equal to 4. And then we would divide both sides of the equation by 9. So that means x equals 4/9. So we did get one solution, and it's a real number, so we have one real root. 6x cubed minus 10x squared plus 16x equals 0. Well, this time we have a degree of 3, so we can expect to get up to 3 solutions here. So we'll solve it and see what happens. We're going to start by doing a little bit of factoring. Each term here can be divided by 2, and it also can be divided by x. So we're going to factor 2x out of our trinomial. So that means dividing each term by 2x. So 6x cubed divided by 2x leaves us 3x squared. And 10x squared divided by 2x is going to leave us 5x. And then 16x divided by 2x leaves us 8. And that's still equal to 0. So now we have a linear factor, and then we have a quadratic factor, and this quadratic factor cannot factor any further, so we're going to use the quadratic formula. But let's go ahead and first take care of our linear factor here, 2x. We can get one solution from there. If we take 2x, set it equal to 0, and so that would mean that x could equal 0. So that's one solution, so we got one real number solution. Now we're going to take our quadratic expression, and we're going to use the quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula, remember, looks like this. X equals the opposite of b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. All of that divided by 2 times a. So let's identify the a, b, and c, and then we'll use those in the formula. So a is the coefficient of x squared, so that's 3. b is the coefficient of x, which is negative 5. And c is the constant, which is 8. Okay, let's plug those in. So we need the opposite of b. So the opposite of negative 5. Then we have plus and minus, square root, b squared. So that's negative 5 squared minus 4 times a. Well, a is 3. And then times c. c is 8. All divided by 2 times a. Now we have a lot of simplifying to do. So the opposite of negative 5 is going to be positive 5, plus and minus. And negative 5 squared would be 25. And when we multiply here, we get 96. And 2 times 3 gives us 6. Okay, we need to continue simplifying. So we have x equals 5 plus and minus. 25 minus 96 gives us negative 71. All that over 6. And now we have a negative under the radical. We're taking the square root of a negative number. So we need to remember that the square root of negative 1 is equal to I. So we're going to use that idea to simplify what we can here with this negative. We can't factor 71 down any further. So in simplifying, we have 5 plus and minus. Taking the square root of negative 1 is I, radical 71, over 6. So what that means is that we have two solutions from here. We have 5 plus I radical 71 over 6, and then we have 5 minus I radical 71 over 6. So we have x equals 0, and we have these two solutions here that we just found, and these two solutions are complex. So we have two complex roots, and x equals 0 is one real root, for a total of 3 solutions.